Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am SL7205 and this is the first episode of KTaNE mod making tutorial. Today in this video I'm going to talk about how to set up your project folder and about tools you're gonna need to make your mod and how to get your basic module settings running. I'm trying to make each episode around 20 to 30 minutes and sorry about my bad English or some nonsense thing I might have said because I'm not really good about English and it's not my first language. Okay, so about tools you're gonna need. First, of course, you're gonna need Unity because this game is made in Unity. As of the making of this video, the modkit only supports Unity 5.4. So I'm currently using version 5.4.3p3 right now, as you can see. Also, you're gonna need the Steam client installed. This is essential for publishing your mods to the workshop. Then you're gonna need some good text editor. I recommend using Notepad++, and also you need Inkscape for making the vector image for your HTML manuals. And I also recommend using Visual Studio for as your IDE. If you run out of RAM or storage space, you may be able to use MonoDevelop that is built inside your Unity installation, but I'm going to use Visual Studio for this tutorial. So let's begin. The first thing you're gonna do is going to this link, github.com/keeptalkinggame/KTaNE and then download the zip file of it. This is your modding toolkit for making any mods. You're gonna need this. Just select clone or download and select download zip. Okay, so we've downloaded that. So here, as you can see, I opened it. It says KTaNE modkit master in the zip file. Now you have to extract it into any location you want. Here I have the folder inside my D drive, which includes all my local repository for all of my modules. So it's gonna extract it here. Then just rename it into any name you want. Since in this video I'm going to do the fast match module, an idea from Legend on someone make my mod room on Discord KTaNE server. So yes, I'm gonna name it KTaNE fast match. Okay, and inside this folder you can see there's license and readme files. You have to edit these files if you want it to work with GitHub in the future. Just open it with Notepad++. The license file will have this line here that is copyrighted by Keep Talking Game. Just change it to your name like this. And then for the readme file, this is the readme file for the GitHub. So just saying anything such as fast match regular module for KTaNE ideas by Legend, something like that, and we're done here. Another pro tip before we launch our Unity is preventing the inconsistent line ending warning on Windows installation. Since I'm clearly using Windows here and Unity template for C# scripts is made in Unix, and that will result in warnings when you launch the file in Unity or Visual Studio. We're gonna fix this before we start anything to save us HH in the future. So just go to your Unity installation folder, which is normally going to be your C program file folder Unity. editor, data, resource, script templates. Here, open the file AT.1 C# script new behavioral script.cs.txt with your Notepad++, and then go to edit, EOL conversion, and convert it to Windows CRLF. This will fix the problem. You may have to run Notepad++ as administrator to be able to perform this action and save the file. After you save the file, you can now launch your Unity. Okay, so we have our Unity open. Just select the open here, and then select our KTaNE FastMath folder. If you get this prompt about opening project in non-matching editor installation, just press continue, and Unity will import everything for you. Just wait a couple of minutes. Okay, so here's our clean workspace in Unity. The very first thing you need to do is configure the mod. Just go to Keep Talking modkit menu here and click on Configure Mod. Then put in your mod ID, basically your module name without space, and then mod title, the name you want it to be displayed, mod version you can put 1.0 or anything like that, and then it's done. Your mod is configured. The next thing you want to do is to configure the version control option in Unity so that your local repository can be uploaded to GitHub without any problem. Go to Edit menu, Project Settings, Editor. See the version control mode here and change it to visible meta file, and you're done. Next, we're going to make change to our scene. As you can see on the hierarchy pane here, we only have main camera and directional light. To make the module editing easier, select main camera and select clipping planes near. Change that value to 0. And then change the Y position to 0.2, C to 0, rotation X to 90, and then save your scene. Just save it into your assets folder. Next, we're going to add some black planes into our scene. Go to example folder, assets, modules, components, and then you can see here. If you are making needy module, select component needy background.fbx. Or if you're making regular module, select component puzzle background.fbx. Since we're making regular module here, I'm going to drag this one into our hierarchy pane. And then double click it to zoom in and select the green y-axis here to see from the top. It's still upside down, but we'll fix it in seconds. Next, we're also going to need some more pre-made assets for our backplane here. Select button measure module. I need to tell you now that this is just the way I do. Some people might not do it like this, but this is the way I like to do. Just drag the button measure module up into your hierarchy pane, expand it, click on status like and component highlight, and drag it onto your hierarchy pane. You will get a break prefab instance warning. Just continue, and then delete the button measure module out. Now we have all pre-made assets that we need on our hierarchy pane and also onto our scenes. Then we're going to create a prefab for it. Prefab is actually a bundle that has all of our game objects inside. Just right click on the hierarchy pane, creates empty, and it will create a blank game object here. Just name it our module name, fastmat. Select all of our assets, our game objects, and drag it into fastmat. This will create the prefab for our module, but it's not saved yet. To save it, drag the fastmat down to our asset folder and it will save. Next, to tell the modkit to include our module into the build, select our prefab on the asset folder, go into the inspector pane. Here you can see the asset bundle, select to none, change it to modded bundle, and then your module will be included for build. Another thing you want to do now is select the menu filter selected name here. You can see that all kind of example files are here. We don't want that. Just select all, select the asset bundle to none, go back to asset folder and re-include the fastmat in. Okay, that's a bit of problem. So basically just remove filter selected name, select all of the example assets you don't want, and then select them to none. Only make sure that only your module is selected as mod.bundle. Okay, so to fix the upside down problem, select the component pastel background on our scene and then change our rotational Y to 180 and then save the prefab by dragging it onto our assets folder. Pro tip here, don't change the rotational Y on the prefab as it will not work and can cause headache later. Then we're gonna add basic components to our prefab. Select the add component after you selected your prefab on the scene and type in KM. In the search pane here, you can see all kinds of components that start with KM. These basically the component that was added by the modkit. What you want to add here is KM audio. Basically provides us to use sounds in the game. Another thing we want to add is KM bomb info, which is the component that allows us to query age work and another info about the bomb and use in our answer calculations. And include the KM bomb module component, which will allow the game to see this is a module. And KM selectable to tell the game that this part of game object can be selected by the user. Then we're gonna set the data inside our components. The module type is your mod ID. Module display name is the name you want it to be displayed. Requires timer visible must be selected if your module requires the user to see the timer to be able to defuse this module correctly, such as the button. This one does not require that, so we'll leave it unchecked. About the game selectable, this basically use the parent and children relationships. Since this is the top level parent of this module, we'll set the parent to none and we'll set the children to include all of our buttons on the module once we made it. Since we haven't made anything yet, we'll set it to 0 for now. And then child role length is basically the settings we need to set for our module to correctly work with gamepad. We'll talk about it later. Highlight is basically that orange rim you see when you hover over something in the game. This was pre-made. Just press this circle here and select component highlight and save your prefab. As you can see, the text here is changing to regular text from the bold text. The bold text in Inspector pane is basically tell you that that change is not saved yet. Please save it first. Then after you have set these settings, you can go and test the module in the game by going to KTaNE modkit, select build asset bundle. A pro tip here, make sure that your module doesn't come upside down in the game, because that will be hard to fix if you have done all of the modeling on your module. Trust me, I've learned it the hard way. To test it, go into your project folder, build folder, and then fastmat folder. Copy that folder, go into your game installation directory and mods folder. Paste that folder in and launch the game. Another pro tip here is that Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes can run without Steam. Just go into the installation folder and launch it directly. This is much faster than Steam version. Okay, so we're in the game. To test it, go to free play, set mods only to on and start. If it works correctly, your modules will appear in the game, not upside down, and there's an orange rim over the module when you hover over it. So it's not upside down, but our component highlight is kind of not working correctly. We'll have to inspect why that's happening. Okay. So exit the game. And see our component highlight. As you can see here, for some reason our position Y transform for our prefab is set to 0.0053, which is not correct. Just set it to 0. Everything inside as well. Don't set anything on status light, just leave it at that. And then I will save it and see if it's working correctly or not. It's built here. Go back to our folder, copy this folder. I've made this shortcut for easy access. Just delete the old one and replace it with the new one and launch the game. Okay, so we're in the game, and as you can see, the highlighting works correctly now. So our backplane is now finished. Another thing you want to know is that you can test your module inside Unity without launching the game. Just go to Asset folder, Test Harness, and drag this test harness prefab onto the scene. Save the scene and press play. As you can see here, it's zoomed in, and you can just select it, test it any way you want, and it will work just like in the game. You can activate and deactivate the needy module. If your module is needy, turn the lights on, lights off, and see how your module color looks like. And it can also simulate widgets, ports, batteries, serial, everything, just like in the game. I'm gonna finish this video here. Hope you like it. If you like it, like, subscribe, comment into the video, and see you later in the next episode. Goodbye.